didn't just happen in a vacuum. This is decades upon decades of male subjugation to the female way of thinking. The point isn't that this is a joke. Let me be explicitly clear about this. It's not that this is a joke. It's that society thinks it's okay to make this joke. The fact that she thinks it's appropriate to make a joke like this proves to me what I've been telling you for damn near 5 years now. Women are out of control. All right, let's get into some red pill shit. I saw this clip earlier. I didn't comment on it, but let's go ahead and kind of cover it real fast. So it goes here. Bride gives the rapper Chief Keef one last chance to bag her before she gets married and officially becomes off the market. He responds to her via comments, and I guess he goes, "Your move." My friends, this is why the red pill will never die. This is nuts. Clown world, dude. We are in a literal clown world, man. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Like, what? Okay, let's play the video. Give some analysis after. Insane, dude. Insane. Holy.
Chief, this is your last chance. Otherwise, I'm gone forever. You have 10 minutes to let me know. I feel the most beautiful I've ever felt. This is my dress. Chief Keef, this is your last chance.
Yo, what the?
Chief Keef, this is your last chance. Otherwise, I'm gone forever. You have 10 minutes to let me know. I feel the most beautiful I've ever felt. This is my dress.
Wait, is this the same?
Chief Keef, this is your last chance.
Yep. Holy shit, dude. Okay, let's talk about this because this is insane, dude. Now, let's identify what this is. Okay? We're going to go from A to Z on this shit. Step one, men and women are different. Okay? I think I'm speaking to a higher IQ audience here, but we got a lot of new niggas here that sit there and think that men and women are equal and equal partnerships, all this other bullshit. So let me just start right here. Blank slate equality, okay, is not real. Gonna say that again. Blank slate equality that progressives and feminists subscribe to in egalitarians is not real. And the reason why it's not real is because men and women are fundamentally different from a biological intrinsic perspective that for the most part is extremely predictable and natural to human order. So that's number one. Understand that men and women are different. Now that we've established that men and women are different, let's get into how are they different. Women have a trait called hypergamy. And this is a trait that's kind of changed definitions, right? First, it was the ideology of marrying up. Now it's, what we've kind of colloquially used as open hypergamy. But the bottom line is simply this. It is the process of women marrying up in social and dominance hierarchies. Okay? And it's extremely important for you guys to understand that this is one of the most fundamental differences between men and women. Okay? This is one of the biggest fundamental differences because men, for the most part, do not marry or get into relationships with women based on their economic status, their ability to provision, their ability to protect, or any of that shit. Men mate with women for replication value. Are you hot? Are you going to give me healthy children? Are you not going to be a 304? Right? We're concerned with a completely different array of traits than women are. So men deal with women from a replication value perspective. Are you hot? Women deal with men from a security perspective. Can you protect me? Can you provide for me? So men are focused on replication, women are focused on security. Now that we've established that men and women are different biologically, fundamentally, and we are different in how we mate, now we can actually properly address this video, okay? The concept of hypergamy, which is women marrying up, women dating up, women smashing up, whatever. For thousands of years, it was controlled. What do I mean by this? Female nature is destructive if not controlled. Let me explain. If a woman cheats on a man and has another child, right? That will have severe consequences on not just herself and the child, but also on the man. If a man has an affair, the damage isn't going to be as destructive. okay? Women cheating is far less forgivable, or let me go further. It's unforgivable, while male cheating can be forgiven because when a man cheats, we cheat for different reasons than why they cheat. And women have to get to a certain type of mindset. They have to be in a certain emotional state to do it. And for a woman to cheat on you and be in an emotional state to cheat on you, she must disconnect with you, which at that point, you're cooked, right? Now, going back to hypergamy, and it's important that you guys understand this. I want you guys to really grasp this. Ancient people from different parts of the world all came to the same conclusion. And what was that conclusion? Women are f***ed. So we need to make decisions for them, and they need to be subordinate to us because we must protect them from themselves. Okay? Women are emotional creatures that do things based on their emotions. The problem with this is when you make decisions based on emotion, emotions change, but reality doesn't. So you might make a really bad decision based on how you felt at the time that can have very long-standing consequences for you in the future, okay? A lot of women aren't really farsighted with their decision-making, okay? They're just not. It's not really in their capacity, all right? They're not deductive problem solvers. They're typically not as rational as men. This is all biological fact. I'm sorry, okay? I know some in the chat, well, I know plenty of women that are smart and rational. Sure, but that is still a fraction of the female population. If I take 100 men and 100 women, right, the majority of the men are going to be rational to some degree, right? Versus if I take 100 women, only a minority of them will be rational to the same degree. Does that make sense? And we have to operate on generalities here because generalities is how the world works. And I really want you guys to hammer that home. Since the beginning of human history and time, every major religion, every group of people have all established that women are stupid and they need men to lead them. And women need to be subordinates. Otherwise, society crumbles. Okay? Now, what we have here, which I explained to you guys what hypergamy is, there's something called open hypergamy. And open hypergamy, it's more of a colloquial term, but it is the practice of openly engaging in practices to market yourself to higher status men. Now, open hypergamy is a relatively new thing because of the advent of social media, okay? Prior to social media, women were contained within their immediate geographic location as to finding a partner, right? In the 1950s, a girl pretty much had to pick a guy from her local area, okay? It was very difficult for her to have access to, let alone speak to, higher status men and have certain opportunities. Now, don't get it twisted. Hypergamy was always there, but women weren't able to exercise it to the same degree. The other thing I also want to say is that back in the 1950s, we had constraints on female hypergamy. Well, Myron, how did we have constraints on it? Well, we had shame. We had fathers, right? We had a society that basically reinforced certain values, right? So all of these different things, these social paradigms, were in place to protect women from themselves, okay? This all started to erode in the 1960s with the invention of birth control, the free love, open love movement, rock and drugs, right? Basically, the 1960s were one of the most transformative decades in America. Actually, I would say it's probably the most transformative decade in American history. We're talking civil rights, we're talking immigration reforms, we're talking feminism, free love. The 1960s was the beginning of what we're dealing with now, okay? And a lot of people will sit there and tell you that the goal of feminism was for women to be equal to men. And I'm here to tell you guys that that might have been, right, and I'm being extremely charitable here, that might have been the intent of the first wave feminists. But what feminism is now, it's not about equality. It's about eliminating conventions that keep women in line. I'm gonna say that again. Feminism is no longer about equality. It's about eliminating conventions that keep women in line. It's the destruction of the nuclear family. It is the stripping of male authority while still making him responsible. It is the creation of family courts that are lopsided in a woman's favor. It is Duluth model legislation that favors women in domestic violence situations. It is believe all women. It is a criminal justice system that always assumes the man is guilty and the woman is innocent. So we've overcorrected for the benefit of women, and we are now at a point where women have more rights and privileges than men do, okay? And with this expanded societal influence, open hypergamy thrives. And the reason why open hypergamy thrives is because feminism systemically destroyed the conventions that kept women in line in the first place, that protected them from themselves. Okay? Now that we've explained the biological evolution of men and women, we've explained the difference between our mating strategies, we've explained the male mating strategy versus the female dating strategy, then we explained hypergamy, then we explained how hypergamy was contained and failed thanks to the 1960s onward, then we explained what open hypergamy is. Now arrive at Exhibit A. This girl here. Okay? Because this didn't just happen in a vacuum. This is decades upon decades of male subjugation to the female way of thinking. The reason why she has zero shame with posting a video like this on her wedding day, calling out to a low IQ rapper of high status, this is actually important too, because objectively speaking, I would argue that 90+% of women would find him extremely unattractive, okay? So we're talking strictly status here, and I see people in the chat saying it's a joke. I'm gonna get to that. I'm going to get to that because you guys are missing the point. I'm going to explain that because I already know I got stupid niggas in chat saying it's a joke, blah, blah, blah. It's not real, whatever. So anyway, so you got someone like Chief Keef here, right? She's saying, oh, I'm getting married in 10 minutes. Shoot your shot, whatever, right? And he responded. The point isn't that this is a joke. Let me be explicitly clear about this. It's not that this is a joke. It's that society thinks it's okay to make this joke. I'm going to say that again because I can tell I got some blue pills in the chat. Let me be explicitly crystal clear about this. The problem isn't that this is a joke. The problem is that she thinks it's okay to make this joke given the context of what's going on. Okay? This cements what I've been talking and building up to. The fact that she thinks it's appropriate to make a joke like this proves to me what I've been telling you for damn near 5 years now. Women are out of control, okay? Women are out of control. This would be unfathomable 50 to 60 years ago. This would be completely unacceptable decades ago. But the fact that she makes this joke, let alone makes it on the internet so that it could be spread far and wide, and her husband's face is being shown. She's showing her face. This is testament to what I've been telling you guys. We live in a gynocentric social order where women can do no wrong. Now, for the idiots out there that don't understand why this is a problem, let me go ahead and put it for you guys in an example that you might understand that would be analogous. Because a lot of you are stupid, okay? You guys were watching too much YouTube with a bunch of so let me give this in English that you would understand for all the soy boy liberal here that don't get what I'm getting at. Let me go in and speak your language. This is the functional equivalent to a guy getting on a camera, dancing on TikTok and saying, yeah, my wife, our first date, I her. And now she's getting married to me. Ha! I'm gonna say that again. This is the functional equivalent to the husband, the groom, shooting a TikTok and saying, ha, yeah, I our first date, now she's marrying me. He violated her just like she's violating him. That is the functional equivalent. But since you're so and people don't understand that men and women are completely different, this is what this woman is doing to this man. She is openly his reputation. Do you get that? It's fake, Myron. You are a part of the problem. It's a joke, Myron. You are a part of the problem. And when I say that we live in a gynocentric social order, this is precisely what I mean. Think about it, guys. Well, we got 3 to 4K of you guys watching between Twitter and shit like that, right? Everyone in my chat is fairly red pill aware. But we still have in here defending the woman, saying it's a joke, it's not that serious, it's not real, it's a stunt. In our side of the internet, they're saying this. Could you guys imagine what it's like out in normie world? If I'm getting idiots in my chat saying stupid shit like that, and they don't realize that this is a microcosm of a far larger problem, do you guys see where I'm going with this? The majority of men in America think that this is appropriate behavior. And that is precisely why we have the problems that we have. It is openly, socially acceptable to destroy your male counterpart's reputation on camera and effectively while thousands of people watch. Character destruction and the of a man's reputation by women is completely socially acceptable, and that is the bottom line of why this is a problem and it must be stopped. This is precisely why I wrote 2 books on this shit. Why women deserve less and why women deserve even less. Because you niggas are too stupid to realize that women are not equal to you. So I gotta bash it in your head so you don't got a gun to your head 10 years from now. I'd rather slap you upside the head or punch you upside the head and tell you, hey, We're in a new norm now. You got to change, okay? But a lot of you dumb niggas want to sit there and fight me back. You're a misogynist. You're toxic. This isn't even real. Why do you care? Fast forward 10 years. You're dumb sitting at the edge of the bed with a revolver. Like, I'm losing all my money. I'm losing my girl. I'm losing my kids. But if you had paid attention 10 years prior, and you had listened to what I said, and I told you that this is a different world where women openly can disrespect you, and you must come in and train her and teach her how shit really goes, then you might not be sitting there on the corner of the bed contemplating how you're going to end it. Do you guys get that guys like me are like the last line of defense? No one talks about this shit. The fact that she put this on TikTok, and people are probably encouraging her, besides maybe a couple guys here and there calling her a thought. The fact that she posted this in the first place and considers it a harmful joke is the problem. And that is why I gave you guys the other example. If a guy went on TikTok tomorrow and said, her first date, now she's my wife, he would be canceled in minutes. He would lose his job within minutes. He's getting that call immediately. Police investigation getting opened. Comments flooded. Petitions created. Petitions signed. But this guy, not only did she embarrass him and destroy his reputation publicly, but she did it with what? A higher status guy. And this is why it's important to note that Chief Keef is an ugly nigga. So what other reason does she have to even make this comment? Well, he's famous and rich. Oh, okay. So this is the ugly side of hypergamy that you guys don't see. But now you're starting to see more and more thanks to TikTok. TikTok is a gift and a curse, okay? Because on one end, you guys can see the evil of female nature. But on the other end, it's making society effectively stupider. And it actually emboldens the women even more to continue the bad behavior because of the attention that they get. So it's a double-edged sword. You're getting red-pilled on female nature, but as you're getting red-pilled, there's 10,000 simps in her comments saying, oh yeah, you go, girl. So maybe 10 guys might get woken up out of 1,000. You got 1,000 simps and 10 niggas that wake up. Sucky ratio, but that's where we are. And the fact that people are in the chat right now saying it's a joke and it's not that serious is precisely the problem and why I needed to give this monologue. It's not a joke. It's extremely inappropriate. It's extremely disrespectful. And if I gave an analogous example, from the male perspective, it would never be accepted by society. Women have all the power of men and then some with zero of the responsibility. And this is what feminism actually fought for. It wasn't about giving women equality. It was about giving women superiority while eliminating the responsibilities that come alongside it. Clip that, send it to your friend. Give it to any dumb that wants to sit there and argue with me and say, it's a joke, bro. It's a joke. It's not that serious. Just a harmless joke. Yeah, it's also going to be a joke when you walk into your house one day and she's sucking some Nigerians. It's not real. It's just a joke. You guys don't understand that women, if you let them, will ruin your life. Do you guys get that? You have to rule with an iron fist with these. Okay? This is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship with limited input from the... I have the... so I'm the dictator. But a lot of you niggas are too scared to tell your wife to shut up. A lot of you guys are too scared to tell your woman, I need you to do this. A lot of you guys are too scared to give your girl instruction or direction. And I'm here to tell you, a woman without direction is headed for destruction, okay? And it is from this lack of oversight, this lack of wanting to assert your dominance, this lack of an inability to lead, which is put us in the situation that we're currently in. These women are out of order, and they're out of order because the men aren't in order, because the men allow them to be out of order, okay? We've effectively given women all the power and privilege with none of the responsibility. In other words, we gave dynamite. Yeah, I fucking said it. We gave dynamite, which is giving women equality. And I stand on that 10 toes. That's what we've effectively done. And then they blow their hand off and blame you for giving them the dynamite. Where all the good men go? Men are trash. Why can't I find a guy? That's them after they've blown their hand off, blaming you for their hand blowing off. Why? Because women don't take responsibility ever. Accountability is their kryptonite. How the are you going to give power and privilege to people that don't understand the concept of accountability, to people that don't understand the concept of competition? And then you stupid niggas want to come in here and tell me that I'm overreacting or that this isn't that serious or it's just a joke. The fact that this is a joke in the first place is the bottom line problem. But hey, send this to some that needs it, because a lot of you niggas in the chat need it. I can tell we got a lot of new niggas here that clearly, see, like this guy right here, Louis Lou 1218 says, grown man can't take a joke. Yeah, bro, you know, quite frankly, you're dumb and you missed the whole point of the conversation. You're literally 20 IQ, and you're probably... Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say to you stupid primate niggas, man. Like, you guys are idiots. Incredible. All right, let's read some chats here.